Hello YouTube. It's gonna be my fourth video. So today I felt like doing something different, not do a tier list, so it doesn't just always be tier lists on my videos. And um, and I've been seeing around. The 40th anniversary of Super Mario Bros. Should be coming up pretty soon. We're hoping for a direct and see what Nintendo does for the 40th anniversary. Um, and so there's been a lot of like rumors of a collection coming along on like the new Super Mario Bros and stuff like that, and 2D All Stars, the new Super Mario 2D All Stars, because we already had a All Stars with like the original Super Mario Bros and World and all that, where that was a collection on Wii. I'm not sure if it was on Wii U. I think it was just on Wii, and then we recently had the 3D All Star Collection that had Super Mario Galaxy, Super Mario Sunshine, Super Mario 64. Sadly, Super Mario Galaxy 2 was never released. And yeah, I've been thinking about it. I was like, because ever since the Switch 2 has been announced and GameCube was announced and we're getting GameCube games, um, I've always been thinking about how many like Nintendo games can you play their whole entire library on the system with either Nintendo Switch Classic or Switch Online, however you want to call it, or if it just had been remade or anything like that. So here I'm gonna go over today and basically talk about my thoughts of like collections or games I would like to see come over, or either being remade or having a new game in the series and stuff like that. Um, or even all the collections that we could see, or like games that are just like missing one or two games from the series, like the Paper Mario series or the Mario and Luigi series, the RPGs and stuff like that, or even some sports ones. Even those sports ones that I think are a bit different. Anyways, I did end up making a list of every single Mario game. Um, it was a bit weird. Some of these games I feel like aren't Mario games, but I put them on here anyways just because I have them on here. Either that or they were just ports. They're all are on here. I just crossed out the ones that are already are on Switch. Like Mario Paint just got added to Switch Online because of the mouse mode. And then Super Mario Kart. Surprisingly, the game, the system with probably the most is the 3DS and or Wii U, just because they had the Virtual Console and all the games that either got remade or just they were just pumping out games like crazy in 3DS and Wii U era. Switch and Switch 2 have now outblown that with the Switch Online, the arcade archives, or like just remaking in general. Some obviously didn't make it, like Mario Clock or like Dr. Mario Express, which is just Dr. Mario just with like one or two extra modes. I did count different versions on this list. I did end up doing another list here, which is separates them by 2D, the mainline 2D games, 3D games, the Mario Kart or Party, RPG slash Paper. I kind of put them in the same kind of thing because Paper Mario has RPG stuff in it, and then there's like ones that don't really feel like RPGs, and they feel like more like the 2D games. So I just put them all together. Then we have some of the puzzles ones, which I see Mario's Picross and Super Picross. I saw Picross 2 that is just another game for Mario, like Mario Picross. I was like, okay, I'll put it on there. Um, and I'd like to see which ones are on Switch Online. If it's on Switch ready, it doesn't really need to be remade or anything like that, or it have some quality of life updates. And then we have the sports ones, which is like tennis, the golf, and some niche ones like not niche, but more like ones that like are out there, like Sports Mix or the Hoops 3-on-3 that was on the DS. And then the rest are just remakes or other ones or ports or stuff like that. If it's like if it was just a port, I didn't put it on this list. But if it was like a port where it's like they actually changed it a little bit, or like there's like subtle like differences and stuff like that, or enhanced like qualities of life changes, then I did put it on this list. I didn't put Wrecking Crew because I've seen like the Super Mario Wiki and some other ones that put Wrecking Crew there. I just decided to put it on anyways, even though I think every Wrecking Crew is on Switch right now, which is only 2 versions, unless you count like, I think Game and Watch is one, which I'm surprised we don't have a Game and Watch collection on Switch yet. Um, but yeah, that's what I'm going with right now. Since we did start off with the Super Mario 2D D games or new 2D games, these are the ones I think should be on there. If where is it? So yeah, this is the timeline. Like really, I'm not considering like timeline like in game universe, just what's been released. And we already have Super Mario Bros. Through the Switch Online service. The Lost Levels, which I believe we also have through the online service. Super Mario Bros. 2 also on the online service. 3 is on the online service. The Game Boy section, we have it. World. I believe these are all there. I'm not sure to count Yoshi's Island, but for this purpose, it's on there. 64s on the N64 Online and in the 3D collection. So Sunshine, New Super Mario Bros. Is what we're hoping. Galaxy's on Switch because it's the 3D collection. Sadly, from the 3D ones, we're missing 2 out of all of them, which is Galaxy 2 and 3D Land. Which is kind of sad because I thought 3D Land should have been in it, or even Galaxy 2. So if they do end up making a new 3D All Stars or re-releasing it, I hope that they eventually bring 2 or 3 over, 3D Land over. And yeah, and then there's the News series, which gladly we're over with it with the Super Mario Bros. Wonder. But yeah, there's a couple in there where you got New Super Mario Bros., which was for the DS, which was probably my first introduction to the Super Mario Bros. Games, which wonderful game. I can still go back to it. And then there's also all the side content in there, which I'm wondering if they do remake this game, will they still have the side content? I hope it does, because that was fun, and I'm hoping that those side games do have multiplayer like functions, like with the new game sharing and stuff like that. I hope there's a way to do that. And then there's Wii with that also has a lot of side content. I hope if they do swap over or make a collection that it's not just the main game. I hope we the first one and 2. And even if they do add in U, I don't think they need to add in U because we have Deluxe. But then again, they did have I think 25th anniversary had it where you can do both. But yeah, I hope those do end up coming to Switch like all together. Obviously, the ones that aren't on Switch that I don't think will appear would be Super Mario Maker and then Super Mario Run. Because the whole point of Super Mario Maker is just making your own levels. Unless they add like all the different like mechanics that were left in Mario Maker and then put in Mario Maker 2 or Mario Maker 3, which would be cool, but I don't think it's necessary. Maybe like a Super Mario Maker 2 for Switch 2, which it has like way more options where it has because with Super Mario Maker 2, we did get like a 3D world style theme. We got a Super Mario 3D World style theme, which would be cool if we get one like Odyssey theme or Galaxy theme or even Sunshine, or even Worlds theme. Now we have a couple that we can use, and it feels kind of off not to have them there now since they added 3D World. 3D World, it felt like they were gonna add way more, and they just never did. So yeah, I think I feel like all these games can be on Switch. The only one probably not will be Super Mario Run, but that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I think that's like 17 out of 20. And even if we go to like Nintendo's own website, which I think they have an official website of Mario's history, which I think most of these games are either on Switch, which they released this a while back during the 30th anniversary, 35th anniversary, which you have Super Mario Bros. Super Mario Bros. 2, Super Mario Land, all these are on Switch already, in one shape or another, and then it just ends off here. Which I think there's gonna be a lot more GameCube stuff coming out. So we just got Strikers from the GameCube. So now it's only missing one game out of the series, which is the Wii one, Supercharged. Um, we're still missing a Mario Baseball game on Switch, which I'm hoping that we get one eventually. I do hope that we get the on GameCube online and Nintendo Classics and stuff. Sad to see that we skipped New Super Mario Bros. And then New Super Mario Bros. Wii, Galaxy 2, 3D Land. All these aren't on Switch, which is like a whole thing. Which I have a feeling that Galaxy 2 is gonna be either there's gonna be an HD or a remake of Galaxy 2 pretty soon. Don't quote me on that. I don't know anything that Nintendo's doing. But I feel like Galaxy 2 should be coming with the 40th anniversary. Come on. Nintendo has been building this library of like NES, Nintendo Classics. Like if I just search up Nintendo Classics, just their classics. They have so many classics on here now. And they have from the NES all the way to GameCube now. And then they also have the arcade archive, which I think they've ported most of those already. And yeah, and then you also have the Famicom versions that only released in in Japan, which is cool. Which you can still play all of those. So yeah, they have even like ones that Mario was just a character or just a name, which was like Mario Baseball for the Game Boy. He was on there, so some people count as. I just saw a whole YouTube video where it was like counting every single Mario game, and it was like if Mario's playable in some sort of faction, even if it's just selecting the character, it counts. And they counted also Tetris and stuff like that, which I don't really agree with. I think that's just part of the Tetris series. And then some also just do like the franchise, which I don't agree with, but it is what it is. But yeah, there's like and there's so many games on the Nintendo Switch Online service now. There's also Donkey Kong Jr., where Mario's the bad guy. I included those because I feel like that's part of Mario's history of like Donkey Kong and Donkey Kong Jr. So I feel like those should be included. Even the Donkey Kong Game Boy version, which I believe has like some differences from the original Donkey Kong. You have all the Dr. Marios, which, speaking of which, I think there's not that many Dr. Marios. If I just do this by like A to Z, yeah, you have all these Dr. Marios here, which Dr. Mario's already. This one's done, and then Dr. Mario on Game Boy is just. I think that's it. You have those. And I put Puzzle because you also have the Mario and Donkey Kong series, which just came back. Because now you have the Donkey Kong versus Mario back. Or Mario vs. Donkey Kong, which just got a remake for Switch, I believe, last year. Which was cool to see. I hope the rest come back. I would rather them actually did like a collection of this. Like there's so many games that I would rather see a collection of because they're like pretty old games or like simple games. So like Mario vs. Donkey Kong would have a great collection. They have a decent amount in their series. For example, they have the minis. They got Donkey Kong, Mario vs. Donkey Kong 2, March of the Minis, Donkey Kong Mini Land Mayhem, the minis March again, Tripping Star, that was for 3DS and Wii U, which I would like to see that just being one, because they even that they kind of split the game in two, which is kind of whatever. And then you have the Amiibo ones. I don't really care for the Amiibo one, but it would be cool to see on the side. And but yeah, they could do a Mario vs. Donkey Kong collection too, which I would love to see. I doubt they do that, but that would be cool to see. I believe the pit crosses are also already on online service. Can I search on here? I cannot, but I believe Picross was Super Nintendo? Yeah, Super Nintendo and Game Boy, yeah. Mario Super Picross right there. And there's Wrecking Crew 98. The Super Mario All-Star versions of the NES games. Yeah, so I think there's a lot that they can do for the anniversary. Is that Terry Bogard? He looks like Terry Bogard. I'm getting off topic, but you have you even have. Do you have a Game & Watch Gallery? You have Game & Watch Gallery 3, which I forget which one this has, but it had a Game & Watch Gallery. Game & Watch Gallery 3. Which ones does this have? It has the Mario Bros. And Donkey Kong Jr. Donkey Kong Jr. of. Oh wait, no, those are characters. Which one's the game? Oh, it does have Mario Bros. That's cool to see. It has a second one. That's cool. That's cool that they released that one already on the game, the classics already, so people can play it. And you got Mario Golf, Mario Tennis. There's the other Mario Picross. It's not the Super one. Two is only Japan, so it might be on the Famicom side. But yeah, I think they're getting Nintendo's getting there with the Nintendo Switch Online of like releasing most of Mario's games or Mario's adventures, whether it's spin-off or not. No, so and I believe with the Mario Kart series, we have Super Mario Kart, we have Mario Kart 64. I believe Super Circuit's on there. Let me see. Super Circuit. Is Super Circuit on here already? It is. Super Circuit is on there. Double Dash not on there yet, but it is. I believe GameCube's now on Nintendo Switch Online with Switch 2, so that was probably gonna be there pretty soon. Wii's not on there, and 7 is not on there either. 8, I guess you can consider 8, even though I feel like 8 and Deluxe are kind of different games now entirely with the booster course and everything, but I feel like the core, yeah, all of Mario Kart 8 is basically on Deluxe. It just adds like a ton of shit. So yeah, it's on there. Tour, it's a mobile, so I don't think it will be on there. And then Home Circuit and World. So it's 6 out of 5 games if you don't count the arcade GP ones, but all the ones made by Nintendo are on the Switch. So really, the only ones that I'm worried about missing out is DS, Wii, and 7, which are the only actually 3 because I feel like Double Dash is coming soon. So have you? Minus, there's only 10 Mario Kart games if you don't count Tour, and then 9 if you don't count Home Circuit, but that's already on Switch, so it doesn't matter. So 10 out of the so it's like 7. So you're missing only 4 games left out of that series. Almost have all of Mario Kart on there. On the 3D side, you have 64, Sunshine, Galaxy, World, and Odyssey. So you're just missing 2, Galaxy 2 and 3D Land. Would be fun to see those come over at some point. I think the 3D ES games are going to be the long shot for a while before any of them come over. But come on, Nintendo, if you release Galaxy 2, you have to somehow release 3D Land eventually on Switch. And it better not be $70. That better be like a $40 game. If it's like updated or like HD version of the game. And then, in 2D, you have Mario Bros. You have the Lost Levels 2, 3, Land. I believe you have the 6 coins. Is that is that? Where's the 6 coins? Is that I forget which that system is on. There it is. Super Mario Land 2, 6 golden coins. See, so that's on it. And then none of the new Super Mario Bros. U is on there. Luigi's U is part of the deluxe, so it's on there as well. Mario Maker 2 is on there, and then Wonder is the latest one, which only leaves 5 games, and minus Run and Maker, which all you're really missing is the first new Super Mario Bros., New Super Mario Bros. Wii, and Bros. 2. And if we are getting that collection, that's basically all the Mario mainline 2D games on Switch, which is pretty good. Obviously, it's not every single version. And if we go over to the remakes, or let's do A to Z so I can see it better. This is the Game & Watch version, so if it's on this version, Game & Watch, it should be on there. Oh, this is the Game & Watch version. Oh, this is the arcade game, which I believe you can actually play through the NES version. It is Mario Bros. On here. Yep, it's on there. There it is. There's Mario Bros. So you have the Mario Bros. Before. Obviously, 8 Deluxe. Mario Paint is on there already. Is Mario Paint Land? I'll look at those. Bob's Way is Cement Factory or Game & Watch games. So if they're not on here yet, then it's not there yet. But if they do release the other Game & Watch Gallery games, or even the collection, a collection, those would be cool to see. New Super Mario's U Deluxe, which is Super Mario. Actually, out of all the 3D ones, they don't consider this one anymore. Super Mario 64 DS, which I kind of miss. I kind of wish they brought that one back, but I guess not. And then you have the advanced versions of the all the NES and Super Nintendo ones, I believe. Which you have Super Mario Advance 2, and 3. You have all 3 of them right here. And then you have the other Advance 3. You have 1 through 4 all there. So all the Advance ones are on there. Do you have Super Mario Bros. Deluxe on here too? Was it a Game Boy? I forget. Dance Color. Game Boy Color. Well, it's not there. But that version I would like to see come over eventually. Which they probably will, because they've been adding all sorts of games. Versus Super Mario Bros. Is on the archive. If Nintendo Arcade Archives, you can actually download these games. Can I see Nintendo games through the website? I'm wondering. All platforms, Nintendo Switch. So, do they have the... Oh, they have 15. Oh wait, can I do... Nintendo. Originally released by Nintendo. Okay. So we can knock down the games. Okay, so we have... There's Wrecking Crew versus Wrecking Crew. Which, if some people consider that, it's right there. Donkey Kong Jr.'s also been released that way also. Versus Super Mario Bros. Right there, and there's Mario Bros. The arcade Donkey Kong's also here. So those are all done too. There's Wrecking Crew 98 versus then you have these weird ones that don't really matter as much. Obviously, you have the Mario and Luigi's, like, the Plus stories, but these aren't on Switch at all. Fortune Tree and the DS version. The only Donkey Kong Game Boy. Did I put that one on here? Yep, it's there. Is Donkey Kong Jr. here also? No. But yeah. So, now to get to, like, what I would like to see for the 40th anniversary. Like I said, I would like to see most of those games come. Like, if Nintendo could release a lot of like the games that are missing from the library. Like I said, there's only like three Mario Kart, or it's not on Switch. There's like only like two versions or three. There's only like the new Super ones, the new Soup, as some people like to call it, that are missing from Nintendo Switch to play. Um, Nintendo 64 for DS, if somehow that one comes. Um, Even though I think DS is probably DS and Wii are probably the next in line for Nintendo Switch Online, but I would like to see how they're gonna do Nintendo DS. I can see ways that they do it. It's not impossible, but it will get annoying trying to see two screens on one console. You know, like a split. Unless you can do it like sideways and like, but that'd also be weird because you're having to switch a long ways, so it's a bit weird. But I feel like it's possible. I definitely think it's possible. And I think Wii is a lot easier to get most of the games because it has the Switch has motion control, so it'll be possible to get uh most of the Wii games on there. Like, they did the Mario Party series. The Mario Party series is missing some stuff, but not by much. That's the wrong Mario Party series. We have 1, 2, 3, all already on Switch. We skip all of these for right now. Well, the Mario Party has a lot that aren't on Switch. Jamboree, Southern Super, and then you have all these. Which 4, 5, 6, 7. Come on, Nintendo, you guys can bring it to GameCube. You have GameCube online, so those I feel like are coming in the near future. Mario Party Advance can be added to online, and the e-reader I doubt comes, but that was not really that important. And then it's just Wii and DS from here on out, and then 10, which is also like kind of difficult because of DS. And then all the Rush, all of these games, which, who really cares about this era of Mario Party? All these are possible. All these are possible. So it'll be fun to see. And to be fair, they did release DS games on Virtual Console on the Wii U, and you were able to play that on one screen. So I see it's definitely possible to see DS come to Switch. Same thing with Wii. Wii was also on Virtual Console, and GameCube and Wii are not that far power-wise, so I can see Wii and DS games all coming. 3DS and Wii U is where it's probably just going to be remakes and not Virtual Console. So, yeah. I would like to see a Mario Party collection, or even some sport ones. We're missing Mario Baseball from this lineup. We have a tennis game. We have the golf game. And most of them can be played on Switch from... are the golf games from Switch N64 on there yet? Let me check. N64. N64. Yeah, you got the golf. And do you have tennis? Tennis is right there. So you have both of them. So after tennis, I believe you just... After the N64, do you have the golf and advance? I guess you don't have the advanced ones yet, but they should probably be added soon. I'm just waiting for Nintendo to just do a Super Mario 40th Direct and say, hey, we're just gonna throw a whole bunch of Mario games on the Switch Classic service, and either do collections, remakes, and stuff like that. We had a lot last year, which with the Donkey Kong, the Paper Mario Thousand Year Doors, the RPG, which is RPG also on here? Because okay, RPG is not also on there, so you can't play the original, but you can play the remake that they did. So it's on there. I feel like it's on there. And then you have Superstar Saga right here, there. So you're missing the DS ones and the 3DS one, but it won't take that much to port over. I'm really hoping for a DS next for Nintendo Classics. I really hope so. I doubt it, but I doubt it's anytime near because we just got GameCube. But it would be cool to see DS next. Unless they skip and just go to Wii, but I've been doing a pattern. Game Boy, I guess I've been doing sort of a pattern. But yeah, those would be cool to see. If we go back here and go to the RPGs, we have the remake with Super Mario RPG, Paper Mario's on the online service, Saga's here, Thousand Year Door got a remake, Partners in Time's DS game's not on here, Super Paper Mario Wii game not here, none of these are there, and Color Splash was also on Wii, but Kingdom Battle, which awesome, Mario Rabbids for the RPGs, really great games. I really love those. Baldur's Ship is on Switch and Origami King. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4 from the Mario and Luigi series. Which again, if they did like a collection of the Mario Luigi series where it's like Partners in Time, Bowser's Inside Story, Dream Team, and Paper Jam, and then do the rest of the Paper Mario in like a collection, those two collections, I don't know how much Paper Mario would do, because Color Splash, Sticker Star, people don't like. People do like Super Mario Paper Mario on the Wii. I like that game because you got Mr. Elf in that series, so, but it was more like a 2D game. It wasn't like an RPG, but I digress. It would be cool to see. So that's 8 out of 7 RPGs that are missing. It would be cool to say back, like Nintendo, just give me some of these games, kind of ported over. Give me the Mario Party 4, 5, 6, 7, and Advance on the online service. Port and Double Dash. You could do whatever you want with these. I would like to see them come over eventually, but those I can wait for. 3D. Give me Galaxy 2 HD or something. If you're not going to give us in the collection that was Galaxy Sunshine 64, give me in the collection. Or either Galaxy 2 HD or Super Mario 3D HD Land. I think both of those work. Those would be cool to see. Just to get every single 3D Mario and every 2D Mario with a collection of new Super Mario Bros. Those would be cool. Obviously, pricing. Obviously, I would love some pricing to be like around 40, 60, because that would be the best pricing for me at least. Some of these games probably less, or just on this online service, which would be cool. And then, collection of Mario vs. Donkey Kong. And just give me the rest of these. I feel like this shouldn't have just been just Mario vs. Donkey Kong, but give me a collection, or just I start making new ones of these. You already made one. Sports, different, because you have all of these. You have Tennis Open. Mario Tennis. I'm guessing that I have Game Boy Color. I have 3 Mario Tennis. Was there a Mario Tennis that I'm missing? I feel like I might have put Mario Tennis like twice. Yeah, I might put Mario Tennis twice. Let me check. Mario Tennis. Oh no, that's the Virtual Boy. That's the Virtual Boy. I doubt we ever get this. It would be cool to see. There's only like 2 Mario games on Virtual Boy, so if they just add Virtual Boy to the Switch Online and just add like the 15 games and call it a day on there as like a novelty, like Virtual Boy games. There's not a lot of games, I believe. There's only like, how many games are there? That's it. There's 22 games, and there's only 2 Mario games on here. So I also have Wario Land, but yeah, this is it. This is it. It could, like Nintendo, you could just put and have Virtual Boy games. I think they had Virtual Boy games on Wii U. Did they ever release on the console or on the? I think it was a 3DS, if I'm not mistaken. Am I tripping, or was there a virtual console? Nah, it was just an emulator, so it was just an emulator that someone did. Okay. And yeah, it's possible. But yeah, so I would just like to see. Well, we're not ever getting the Olympic Games anymore. All these are on here. And then it would be cool to see Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games like collection, because I know we're not getting any Olympic Games anymore because of the whole NFT things that the Olympics wanted to do instead. But it would be cool to see these games just be in a collection for one time. There we go, and then it has the Wii and DS versions. Those would be cool. Ultra Smash is just Tennis Aces, but Tennis Aces is just better. Still need a Sluggers game on Switch. Waiting for that. This is all these 3. I just realized I don't understand these. Golf Advance Tour? Is that on there? Game Boy Advance. No, it's not on there yet. Gotta add more games to this, Nintendo. There's like so many games left from like the sports era. I know they probably won't care for sports that much. These are on the system. This is on the system. I believe is Yoshi Cookie on the system? And on the online? Is Yoshi... I think Yoshi Cookie is... Is Yoshi Cookie a Super Nintendo game? Should be all the way at the bottom. No, it's not here either. I might be kidding. I might do one of these for Zelda also, because I feel like Zelda, most of the Zelda games can be played on the system now too. Because if you see, you have Zelda. You have Zelda 1 and 2. On the Super Nintendo. You have Zelda Link to the Past. I probably should do a whole separate video of like one by one of like every single one. You have the Game Boy one, which you have Link's Awakening DX. I did play this, and it's probably one of my favorite games. And you have the Oracle of Ages and Season on here too. Yeah, both versions of Tetris. Tetris is regular and Tetris DX. And 64, you have both Majora's Mask and Ocarina of Time on here. Game Boy Advance. You have the Minish Cap, Link to the Past, and Four Swords on here also. And then probably missing just Wind Waker from GameCube. Oh, Wind Waker's right there. So Twilight Princess would be the one that's missing. Skyward Sword got ported. So really what's missing from Zelda is the 3DS games and the DS games. And you basically have all of the Zelda on here. So, yeah. Every time I look at this list, it makes me happy that Nintendo is putting almost all of the games on the system. Like, there's usually an argument of like, oh, you have emulating these games, and people go like, hey, I would gladly pay for these games if they made it somewhat available in today's age. And I feel like they're starting to build something here that you can play most of Mario's catalog, most of Zelda's catalog. You have the Donkey Kong games besides Donkey Kong Country Returns, and like probably the Mario games. We have most of Donkey Kong's games on here. You have most of Zelda's. I believe you have most of the Metro games on here, besides probably Prime 2 and 3, and like the 3DS one again. I believe you can play all of F-Zero. But yeah, I think it's like becoming a thing where it's like almost every single thing. I am hoping that eventually Nintendo gets all their mainline stuff done for Switch Online. And we only have one instances of them removing a game, but it was also just a third party on the system, so not too bad. But eventually they could have every single Mario game on Switch. Which begs the question, once they have all these games on Switch for like the 50th anniversary or like any anniversary past that, what would they do? Like, they would have mostly every single thing on the Surface or on Switch at some point, and I think that's I'm happy for that. I'm happy that I can play every single Mario game, every single Mario Kart game, 3D, 2D, or even any of the RPGs all on one system. Despite, yeah, there's some differences, so where they can do like variants and like bring all the variants over and stuff like that all in one system. I think Nintendo's trying to do that. I think that that's great. And so, in conclusion, I would love to see a collection of the new Super Mario Bros. I would love to see them port over some the rest of the Paper Mario games at some point to have them all on one system. I would love to see the rest of the Mario and Luigi series, which I think we're missing the 4 in between, Part of the Time, Bowser Accessory, Dream Team, Paper Jam. I don't need a new one in the series right now because we just got Brothership, so it would be great to see either a collection of the DS games, or even the 3DS games, all on Switch at some point. Then yeah, I was waiting for a Mario Baseball, which is, I think, is the next in line. I'm hoping they do baseball and not tennis or golf or strikers, because we got all three on Switch and baseball is the next one. So please, I need the sluggers and the roster for the game. could be so great with how much more characters they have, and like they have new kingdoms. They have Pauline that and Donkey Kong that can now do their own things. You have K. Rool that has all. You can have more villains and stuff like that. Um, you have the Wario series. Not yet. Bring back Wario Land. Come on, Nintendo. Bring back Wario Land. I know this video is probably all over the place. But yeah, those are some of the things I would like to see for the Mario anniversary. Give me the Mario Kart series. Give me more of the Mario and Luigi series, either collection or not, or even just remakes, or even just to put on the service. I want to see eventually one day where all these games I'm able to play on Switch. It would make the Switch 2 probably the best console of all time, and if it keeps having backwards compatibility, like if we get a Switch 3 and there's backwards compatibility, gonna love to see that, and having everything in one place, I don't see how you beat it. It's the reason why I love this Switch 2, despite everybody's like hating on it or not thinking it's worth it. To me, this right here, saying every single Mario game on one system, feels like it's worth it. Obviously, these are going to be a lot harder to get to, but I feel like Nintendo will eventually get there. Obviously, you need cooperation with Sega, and then with Sports Mix, you need some of Square Enix with the power, like the Sports Mix that has Final Fantasy characters and stuff in Dragon Quest. So it'd be cool to see a lot of them in the game. But yeah, give me new Sluggers. I'm happy now. The bare minimum for me is the new Super Mario Bros. Collection, a Mario baseball game, and probably something like an update to Mario Maker with new themes and stuff. And then just adding the missing games from like GameCube, Nintendo 64, and any of the online server Nintendo Classics already. Like, just fill in the gaps with all the Mario stuff, either spin-off or not. I know mostly the main ones are probably there, but give me some of just the spin-offs on the service, and just flesh out having every single Mario game on Switch. I know you guys would love to have that as a selling point eventually, where it's like you can play every single Mario game on Switch, and I would like to see that eventually. And not only for Mario, but for eventually Zelda and Punch-Out and all these other series that you guys have. And so, I think that's how the 40th anniversary should go. Where, oh yeah, and then the movie. I forgot. We're also getting the second movie. So, the movie, a new Super Mario Bros. Collection with the DS one, Wii, and the 3DS 2, New Super Mario Bros. 2. Probably Galaxy 2 HD something to bring up, and 3D Land event coming to Switch on some way to have all 3D platforms and every single mainline on Switch. Those are the 5 games I do want. All of those 5 mainlines on Switch eventually, because it just feels left out. And long shot Mario 64 DS, because I like playing that as Luigi, Yoshi, and Wario in those games. And possibly add Waluigi, because that would be hilarious from people having that rumor back in the day. I would love to see all of that. But yeah, I think... Oh, and Mario Party for GameCube Online. But that's a long shot. I think the rest is possibly doable. And then probably just have some third-party like stuff where it's like, oh, you can do this in like the old days where you had Dance Dance Revolution and stuff like that. That game's never coming. Mario Mix, Dance Dance Revolution, Mario Mix probably never coming out unless somehow Nintendo gets a way to do it on the GameCube Online. But yeah, I probably will. If you guys do want me to go over like other series or just focus on like series that Nintendo has or their IPs of like, if all their games are on the system, I will gladly do those videos. It'll be a lot shorter than this one. This one's just me rambling off of like basic Super Mario Bros. And their games and like what's on Switch and stuff like that. And what I like to see. If you like my rambling, subscribe, leave a comment. Tell me what you want to see. If you want me to talk about the Zelda series, or even like the Pikmin series, which is a lot smaller, or even the small series, like technically Splatoon is not all on Switch yet. You still have Splatoon 1, which obviously is a bit difficult since you online doesn't really matter in that game as much anymore, even though that was the big focus. But possibly bringing the story somewhat into the Switch One. Um, yeah, and then you have Metroid, the Donkey Kong series, Donkey Kong Country series, which that has been separated. The Wario Land series / WarioWare series, all these series that Nintendo or IPs that Nintendo has that either they've been building or should make a comeback. I'll gladly make a video on it. Obviously my videos are unedited. I don't have the time to edit, but yeah, that's gonna be the video. Have a good one.